Cobra Kai has just moved from YouTube Red to Netflix, and it's taken the world by storm. People everywhere are falling in love with this show, and people all over the world are wanting more. And that's what we've got for you today. Stay tuned as Happy Harry Hashbrown goes one-on-one with Susan Gallagher, a.k.a. Homeless Lynn of Cobra Kai. Welcome everybody to Happy Harry Hashbrown. And if you haven't been hiding under a rock, which you probably haven't because you're watching the damn internet, Cobra Kai, the sequel series to Karate Kid, has been blowing up. It hit Netflix last week, and everybody is going crazy. It's #1 worldwide. And I am privileged to have with me today actor, producer, writer, Susan Gallagher of Cobra Kai, and she's going to be chatting with us today. Welcome, Susan. How are you?
I'm great. I'm glad to be here.
You are glad to be here. And I also understand you're the founder of Her Little Red Productions?
That's right, 2014.
We're going to talk about that a little bit today. But Netflix has gone crazy. Everybody's going crazy over you. It's on Twitter. It's on Instagram. It's all over the place. How are you feeling about that? What's it like to be part of the top dog?
I am so grateful to be part of this amazing series. I just can't even tell you, Harry. It's been a great experience for me, and I'm so happy for everybody involved. And I mean, it starts at the top. You've got 3 guys who were friends in college who love movies, and they love the Karate Kid movies, and they become filmmakers. And one of their dreams was to make some kind of continuation of the Karate Kid, and that's how Cobra Kai came to life. And John Hurwitz, Josh Heald, and Hayden Schlossberg have done a phenomenal job, and I'm just grateful that they cast me as Homeless Lynn.
Now, tell us about how that happened. Chat me up. How did you get that part? Were you just like reading the internet one day and you just decided that, hey, they're looking for homeless people. I think I could do that.
There's a regional self-submission site called Actors Access, which is sort of like a part of the breakdown services out of Los Angeles, which most of the stuff comes down to the work comes off of. So anyway, I was looking at Actors Access and I saw this part, and I immediately saw Cobra Kai and then the Karate Kid, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be cool. So I did some research on the big 3, found out who those guys were, and then realized that Ralph Macchio, William Zabka, and Martin Kove were going to be part of this. And I thought, how can this not be like super successful, right? You've got great writers who are passionate about it, and then you've got the 3 stars from the original movies, which is rare. So I was so excited, and it was the part of a homeless woman named Lynn, who's the resident homeless woman who lives right outside of the Cobra Kai dojo that William Zabka's character has, Johnny Lawrence, of course. And I had been the last couple of years really focused on trying to bust out of the box that the business had put me in, the very small box that they put us in, right? And I had been doing quite a few indie films, short films, low budget stuff where I played more character type actresses and had larger roles, and just trying to do all different sorts of things just to shake it up. And I said, you know what? I said, this is what I want. This is exactly what I need, a homeless woman, and I want to be unrecognizable. And my husband was like, well, you're going to have to be unrecognizable. And so we got out some of his old beat up sweats and big sweatshirts, and I just messed up my hair and I put all this dark makeup underneath my eyes, and then I went back kind of with a greenish color. I mean, I went all out for this thing. And I put myself on tape at Screen Actors Talent in Asheville because we were in North Carolina half of the year. And we just, the John O'Kirk who taped me and read opposite of me, we just had a blast. And I had prepared and worked really hard on it to try to, knock it out of the park if I could. And we just had a blast doing it. And I think I remember taking something during the audition, and I think the audition was you ain't hustling no corner on my mark, finish up and beat it. And I think I threw like, I wadded up a piece of paper and I threw it at him. And so I wanted to put some physicality into it too. And we just did an interview with the Asheville Times with Hannah Keppel and I, and we actually looked at our old auditions because she had been taped there too, because she's from Asheville, and it was a hoot. And I looked horrible. I did one take with the wild hair and she looked really bad. And then I did the second take because I usually like to send 2 different kinds of takes just to give them a little something, something, right? And I had this old toboggan on my head. It was pretty scary looking, but I got the call back. And I hadn't even told my agent, Atlanta Models and Talent, AMT in Atlanta, because I self-submit a lot and they know I'm very independent, I'm very proactive, and they just kind of go with it. But so I hadn't even told them because it was such a long shot for me to get a call back. And I'll never forget it. They called and they said, Susan, you have a callback for a homeless woman in Cobra Kai. And they kind of thought that they had maybe messed up or something. I was like, oh yeah, my God, I can't believe it. So then I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to meet these guys. So I was like, my husband's like, well, you're going to have to go in full character. So I did. And I can remember pulling up to the casting director's parking lot, and they had a security guard out there because it was a big facility. And I wrote on the window and I'm introducing myself and I'm telling him what I'm doing. I said, no, you let me get back in my car when I walk out like this, okay? And he was like, oh, you look great, blah, blah, blah. And he was so excited for me. So I just felt great about it. I went in there and here are these good looking men, and, you know, I'm trying not to smile and be all engaging and just stay in character. And they really liked what I did, and I felt comfortable in the room, and the energy was really good. And I can remember when I was walking out of the room, Hayden looked at me and he said, well, you know, we got to do something about those teeth. And I was like, bring it. And so they do. They literally paint each one of my teeth brown, and then they go back and they paint in between each teeth dark brown. So that's kind of,
wow.
You know, after the hair and makeup and the costume have made this transformation, yeah, the teeth that's kind of like the icing on the cake.
Man, yeah, because I must say you look completely different in person and in your pictures than you do as homeless Lynn. When you got this, obviously you saw Cobra Kai and you were a Karate Kid fan and you were like, I want to get in this, especially with Zabka and Machio. Did you? But it was YouTube, right? Did you?
Yeah, YouTube Red originally.
Were you skeptical?
YouTube Premium.
Yeah. Did you think it might not take off? Did you think like, or did you just know that this was going to be number one?
I thought it was going to take off. It was a little disappointing because you wanted more people to see it. And I would have a lot of people ask me, Susan, why is it on this YouTube? I don't want to have to join, blah, 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 blah. And I was just grateful for anything. It was such a different kind of role for me. And it was so liberating and not have to worry at all about what you looked like. I mean, not at all. You know, if you're having a bad hair day or, you know, whatever, it was a completely different kind of role that I could sink my teeth into. So I was just so happy to even have one episode for me. But as far as the big picture, you know, when somebody's got the kind of passion that the big three, that's what we call John, Josh, and Hayden, when they have that kind of passion for something that they're doing, it's just hard to fail. So I just, you know, and then Billy Zabka he's got such an incredible range, and I'm just so happy that the world has gotten a chance to see what kind of actor this guy really is and the levels that he can play. I mean, I was like, you know, because I've been close so many times, Harry. I've been in this business a long time, and I've come close so many times to having a big break, and it fall through, it get canceled, whatever. But I thought, you know what? I just don't see this, you know, getting canceled. I see a big future for this because the Karate Kid fans are so awesome. It is unbelievable, the fandom out there. And it's been so much fun for me to meet so many cool people. And the majority of them, I mean, you know, 9 out of 10 are wonderful. They're just awesome. And they love it so much they can't get enough. So they've been waiting 30 years. So you've already got this incredible fan base that is so loyal. And then you've got these awesome actors that, you know, came from the original movies. It's just, I don't know. It was like the perfect storm. And now Netflix, right? On August 28th, it dropped on Netflix, and we've been #1 in the world. So, I mean, didn't get much.
I knew it was going to blow up, but I didn't think #1 on opening weekend. Like it was already, like it was crazy. And you know, we're on Twitter together. We chat a little bit. We see some of the same stuff. And all these people are like, why didn't anybody tell us about this show? I'm like, we have been for 2.5 years. Like,
I know that's what all the fans are saying too. Yeah.
like I've never heard of it. What the hell? And then now they're mad. Now they're mad that the original Karate Kid movies have been taken down off Netflix. Like they want to watch it all. They want to watch it all.
Yeah. Yeah. What they had, what did they have? The first 3 on Netflix for the last few months. So people could binge that and then, you know, get ready for seasons 1 and 2 of Cobra Kai.
One of my favorite scenes of the show, and it's probably a lot deeper for me than a lot of people think, is a scene where the girls are in the car, and Lynn is lurking around, and they're just being ridiculous. Like, oh my God, don't look at her, don't make eye contact. She's gonna kill her. She's gonna murder. She's gonna make a snacks murder. And I saw that, and I'm watching it as a fan, and I'm realizing, oh my God, they look so incredibly ridiculous. But then I spent a lot of years living in Cincinnati, and we would go downtown, and it was the same thing. And I realized, it's like, holy cow, I've acted like that before, when it's like, just keep walking, you know. So to me, I guess that scene, it was funny, but I should compliment you because it's a testament to, like, you know, maybe we should maybe not walk by all the time and not freak out and think we're going to get murdered all the time. And we really do look that ridiculous as people when we're approached that way.
I'm glad you brought that up because the girls, number one, did a wonderful job. And Hannah Keppel, who I just was mentioning that we just did an interview together, she just knocked it out of the park. Both of them, they did. But, you know, with homeless Lynn, she provides some comic relief, but in the reality of the world, you know, her situation is not funny. It is tragic, and homelessness is a terrible problem all over our country, all over the world. So I think that it does help to stop and look and think that, yes, it's good to be street smart, because Lynn would want us to be street smart, because there are a lot of people out there that would do you harm, but then there are a lot of other people that have just had one bad thing after another happen in their life to put them in a situation where they've either given up on themselves and on society, or, you know, they're coming back from a bad situation or a bad injury, and, you know, they develop a lot of pain, and so they're seeking comfort for that. I mean, people, you know, react and act because something's happened to them in their life. So it's made me be more mindful of people living out on the streets and in the elements. And I actually support a shelter in our hometown back in Florida through the Lake Wells Care Center. It's called their transitional housing program, and it helps to get people and families off of the street, because I mean, there are people living in their cars, and then if their car breaks down, where do they go from there? And it's tough, and it's very sad. So I think the comedy comes in from just, you know, almost the awkwardness, but yeah, you're right. It's something that we should all think about.
All right, now we're gonna lighten it up a little bit, but did you really pick the slice of pizza up off the ground and eat it, or was there like a spare slice? Let's see, it was Hayden, I think, was there on that particular day, and it was on a paper plate. If you look closely, you don't actually see picking the pizza up with my hand on the ground. You know, if you rewatch it a million I'll watch
times,
it a little harder.
Like some people do, you'll realize that I did not actually pick it up off of the ground.
I guess I think my first reaction was, "Oh, she's eating the pizza."
Yeah, I mean, you're not the only one. A lot of people do.
The burritos and meth line, was that in the script, or was it ad lib? Because that's probably one of the most hilarious lines of the show. It's like, I want to get some burritos and meth, and he just fires off with, "Well, that's what money's for."
That was in the script, and I don't know who came up with that. I want meth in a burrito. But what was even funnier to me than that is when Lynn says, you know, he's like, "Hold the sign, spin it up. You know, I want you to get some attention for the dojo." And she says, "Well, do you want me to show my bits? Because that'll cost you extra." And then he's like, nobody wants to know. Nobody wants to see your bits. And she's offended by that because
That's the
she doesn't
opposite.
know what her bits are like, you know? So she,
Right.
if you listen, I mean, she like, you know, she's offended by that. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh, I love it.
Just the dynamic between Lynn and Johnny is hilarious. And then
Yeah.
they, you know, the writers are so brilliant and they come up with these hilarious one-liners that it's just, you know, Johnny, Billy and I have a lot of fun with it because it is hilarious to do because it is so ridiculous. And the fans are so great. They adopt these one-liners and hashtag them all over the place, and I'll hashtag them, and they develop a life of their own, kind of.
Yeah, I think having Lynn in a show is a detail. It's a very detail piece. You know, doesn't have to be there, doesn't need to be there, but she is,
Yeah.
and it makes it better.
You know what she reminds me of a little bit, Harry, is I don't know if you're old enough to remember the show MASH. Jamie Farr's character, Corporal Klinger.
Klinger, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember
I love
Klinger? He
I
would dress. Yeah, I mean, he was everybody's favorite character, and you were always looking for him because he's, you know, was a cross dresser back then. But I mean, it was just, you know, a ploy to try to get out of the military, right? And he would wear these fancy, very frou-frou looking dresses, and he'd have some, you know, new hat or whatever, and he would just carry on his business like a regular soldier, but he is dressed in this ridiculous outfit, which made it even funnier. I mean, the reality of it, would be sad because this guy is so desperate to get out that he's willing to do anything. But I loved his character, and I sort of think that Lynn is a little bit like Corporal Klinger, that, you know, he doesn't have to be there, but he adds a little brightness and some humor, and but also there's some depth there because it makes you think about the homeless people, or you think about the people in the military and the ones that are really struggling. So
yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun to watch. I love Klinger, like, because he would always come in and do something when you're least expecting it. You know, Jamie Farr would walk in and break up a scene,
Yeah.
sometimes a serious scene, and you're like, wow. And almost
Because they were a MASH unit, you know,
yeah.
in the middle of the battle. So
yeah.
we need that. You know, I think whether it's in our TV shows or in our life, we need something that will occasionally break the struggle of life, just to lighten up and have some joy and some laughs, and, you know, help you get through the day.
Where do you see Cobra Kai going? You see it going all the way? Like, you see Netflix carrying it for the next 3 or 4 years?
I hope so. I mean, I don't have any idea. I try to stay optimistic, but then I'm one of these that just likes to stay in the moment and live one day at a time and hope for the best and work as hard as I can and engage with the fans and meet people and just stay in the moment, Harry, and meet lots of people like you. I've been doing tons of these interviews because nobody's out working. I've started auditioning again, and I've booked something, and I've got a couple of other things in the works. But, you know, we don't know how long we're going to go with this whole COVID thing. I haven't heard any news about filming starting up for season 4, which has shot in Atlanta in the past 3 seasons. So, you know, I'm just trying not to get too far ahead of myself and just stay grounded and in the moment and try to have some creative outlets and be proactive with my own career.
Fair enough. Tell us about Her Little Red Productions. Like, I did some reading, but I don't think anybody could tell the story better than you.
Well, I had gotten to the age where, you know, the phone wasn't ringing as much, and I was just tired of waiting for my agent to call. I don't know if you can hear this. I'm outside because my internet's much better out here. It's really loud. I hope it's not.
We all hear it.
Sorry. He's going by.
Throw some burritos at him.
No, you ain't getting my burritos. Okay, he's gone. So anyway, yeah, I was tired of just not having any kind of control because on my side of the business, you know, you get an audition, you stop everything you're doing and you start preparing and working for hours on an audition. And then you drive to wherever you have to go. You pay to be put on tape, and then maybe you'll get a call back, maybe you don't, maybe you're booked directly from tape, maybe you're not. And usually you don't get any feedback. Now my agent would say, oh, the feedback is they keep calling and asking you to audition. But it gets hard. The rejection is tough in this business, and I've been doing it a long time. So some other friends of mine had started doing it, and a guy named Kevin O'Neill, who's a big buddy of mine, he teaches directing at Full Sail Film School in Orlando, and he was doing film after film after film, and I was like, gosh, you know, Kevin's doing it, and then this one over here is doing it, and then my girlfriend over here is doing it. I was like, well, they don't know what they're doing any better than I do. So I sort of got to the point in my life where I wasn't afraid to fail, and I was confident enough to put it out there and to be vulnerable and do a little writing and doing some producing, because I really didn't know what I was doing. But I've had fun doing it, and it's kept me in a creative mode. It's kept me in a proactive mode where I feel like I was still moving forward in my career, even if it's a tiny little short film. And my goal was just to improve with everyone, and I do feel like I've done that. And we've won several awards, and I'm very proud of what Her Little Red has done. I mean, we're still a very small production company because my passion is still acting, and that is my focus, and it has to be my number one focus. But I do have some other projects in the making and that I'm researching and considering, because I'd like to do one really good project per year. And I mean, right now, that's all I have time to do, because it's very time consuming and it's expensive. So, you know, you have to take all those things into consideration. But yeah, I'm all about people making their own stuff and providing their own opportunities to play a specific role that you've always dreamed about playing. You know, write it yourself, or you and your buddy get together and write it and shoot it, and, you know, bring on some other people to help, and not set my expectations up too high. That has helped a lot.
Right. Right. Well, yeah, I mean, look, I knew this was going to be fun because, you know, we post on Twitter and you're hilarious. I'm having a great time. If you got a couple minutes, I've got a couple fan questions from people in a Facebook group that I'm in, and they want to know. The first one is it actually Homeless Lynn in the script? Is it written in as Homeless Lynn in the script, or does Lynn have a last name? Is it Lynn Jones or whatever?
It's Lynn.
It's just Lynn.
It's Lynn. I think it was maybe season 3. I was on the set, and I was trying to get one of the guys to establish Lynn's name in that episode, because nobody knows her name. So nobody knows who's playing her, because, you know, it's hard to, when people, and this is what I've been told, when people go through, originally, like in this first season, they go through Cobra Kai on IMDb, and they're looking at all of the cast members, right? And they see my picture and they see the name Lynn, but I don't look, in my professional headshot, I don't look like Lynn. So they have no idea who Lynn is, who's playing Lynn. And I've had people even that know me, they're like, where are you? I don't even, are you, you know, you said you're in the show and I can't find you. Unless they know me really well. And then they would pick up on, you know, my voice and some body language, and, you know, especially if they knew me way back in the wild days, and they'd go, oh, well, that's Gallagher right there. I can tell by that little attitude. But so, yeah, I think some of the fans and I just started being a little more specific and calling her Homeless Lynn to get it kind of playing out there, so people would go, oh, all right, she is the one who plays that sassy, sometimes very provocative homeless lady. But her name is Lynn.
Just in the script. I saw, and I know you did too, somebody had put your picture up in this Facebook group that we're both in, and was like, you'll never guess who this is. And when people figured out that was you playing Homeless Lynn, they're like, what? Like, no way. I'm like, yeah, that's her. And, you know, a completely different look. And costume for that, is it like hours of makeup, or that's another fan question. Is it hours of makeup, or is it just they roll you around in the dirt and mess your hair up and send you out in front of the camera?
Oh, it's you know, they're doing their thing. Frank Keller, who is the costume design director of the costuming department, he has had a wonderful time, and he has taken so much time and effort into her costuming, down to the shoes, and I mean, beating the clothes and, making them dirty and then more dirty. And I can remember, I think it was the third season. No, in the second season. No spoilers here. And I think when I was circling back, when I was talking about something about trying to get one of the guys to call her homeless, call her name Lynn, that was in season 2 also. But she had on bedroom slippers and she's sitting on the curb, right? And so they brought these bedroom slippers and I thought, oh gosh, these are so comfortable, and they were brand new. So I knew they were clean, even though they looked bad, right? And they took pictures and everything. And then the guys came back and they said, no, they're not dirty enough. And so they had to go and like dirty up the bedroom slippers even more. So if you're watching that scene where she is sitting on the curb twirling the donut, that's when she throws the cat call at Johnny, which I did throw in. That was not in the script.
That was you.
Yeah, and that cat thing has a life of its own. I mean, the whole cat. I knew the fans would have fun with that after. I mean, I wasn't even thinking about it in the moment. It just felt like something that I just did organically, and I actually did the scratch, but they kept the camera on him for his reaction. But that was hilarious. But anyway, check out her slippers. And you'll see how dirty they are in my feet and my legs and my whole body. I mean, I'm filthy. Yeah, wow. And it takes a while in the hair and makeup. They start with the makeup, and it's a process. It's
yeah, you were talking about the teeth earlier, and that would scare me. Like, and how do you get that off? Like regular toothbrush or what?
Yeah, they have all this different dirt makeup and stuff, and that's I think alcohol based or something. It was safe because I, of course, Googled everything, and they're very professional anyway. But
right.
It's all non-toxic. But it's hard when I've been wrapped to clean up so that I can drive 3 hours back to Asheville or wherever, or back to Orlando or wherever I'm going, because the first episode I tried just leaving because you're kind of in that zone, of, you've been on set, but now it's time to go. So you're ready to, head on out. And I was filthy. I was like, man, I got to stop by a Starbucks or something. And, so now, God bless them, the gals in the makeup trailer, they start cleaning me. And, it takes about 3 showers.
Wow.
To unlin, to delin. And I don't really feel like I'm coming back to normal until I go and have a mani-pedi, because of course my nails are just filthy.
Right. And Lynn getting a mani-pedi. Maybe we'll get to see that on the show one day. And I know there's a couple things I'm not allowed to ask about, but the big three have all talked about, now I'm a day oneer from day one. So I've been waiting on season 3 for like a year and a half now. They've talked about that some people have seen it. And so have you seen it? And for those of us that are day oneers, is it worth the wait?
The only part that I have seen is I did ADR, and it's pretty interesting. But, I'm the kind of person that when I'm working on a show like this and I go in and I do my thing, I don't ask questions. I don't want to know what's going to happen. I don't want to know, well, who was in last week's? Because I could accidentally slip up and say something and say the wrong thing to you, and I don't want that coming back on me.
Right.
So I just, I have no idea. And I'm, friends with a lot of those people. And even, you're sitting there and you're, having a meal, and it's usually the same background people and that are there every single episode. But, it's not worth it to me, because I would never want to slip up. And I'm sitting here going through my mind right now. Did I say anything early?
No, I don't think you did. And if
I don't think you didn't learn anything you didn't already know, right?
I'll cut it out if I have to, right? I don't want to get you in trouble.
Sweet. Yeah.
Even if it takes me 6 hours to edit it, I'll do it. Lynn is absolutely, without a doubt, one of my favorite non-main characters on the show.
Thank you so much, Harry.
And watch, especially the scene where you're like, well, you want to take me home, baby? Because it's just so funny. Like, she's just like out there like that. So I want to thank you, Susan, for coming on the show. I'm going to put some links up to your production company and your Facebook and your Twitter, all of that in this description. And I want all of my Happy Harry Hashbrown fans to always, always, always check out Susan Gallagher, aka. Do you have anything you want to plug before we go?
Yeah, I'm proud to be part of a film that we're in pre-production right now called 22, The Unforgotten Soldier by Sam Medina. And it's about veteran suicide and PTSD. So check us out, Sam Medina's 22, The Unforgotten Soldier.
Oh, if you send me a link to that, like a website or something that's for it, I'll put that up in the description.
Overlook Entertainment, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Looking forward
I'll
to
send
that. My father was a Marine, so I'm all about seeing stuff like that. So once again, Susan,
Absolutely.
don't want to take up any more of your time. You've been great, and thank you so much for coming on. Happy Harry Hashbrown. I am Hashbrown Harry. This is Susan Gallagher, Homeless Lynn, my favorite.
Thanks, Harry.
Hey, Cobra Kai fans, if you like this video and you want more great Cobra Kai content, make sure you check out my other videos up here on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to Happy Harry Hashbrown's YouTube channel and click that notification bell so you will be the first to get notified each and every time a brand new video drops. Until next time, this is Happy Harry Hashbrown saying, no mercy!